Hello everyone, my name is Zombini, and in this video I'm going to be showing you guys the super simple basics on how to start your Minecraft skin. The very first step would be getting to know how to use the editor that you're going to use. I definitely recommend using PMC Skin 3D. This is online, you don't have to download anything, and it is definitely my favorite editor and probably the most professional and updated one out there right now. To get to this editor, you just have to go to planetminecraft.com/PMCSkin3D. Once you're there, all you have to do to start is click Start. You will load up to this editor right here, and it can be pretty overwhelming if you have no idea what you're doing. So I'm definitely gonna go over every single piece of this so that you know what everything does and that you are comfortable using it. I also find that the best way to learn is to try everything out yourself. So maybe for this video, also open up this editor with me and just play around with some of the settings. So the very first thing to go over is this giant player shape in the middle. Now what is that? That is your model that you're going to be using to draw your skin on. I find it's always very helpful to use the 3D model when doing this, but if you prefer using 2D, you can always click 2D mode up here, and then you can draw it in 2D, how the skin appears as a PNG image. Or if you want to do both, you can choose hybrid mode up here and have the 3D and the 2D going on at once, and you can drag this around to your liking. But for easiness sake, I'm just going to go with 3D for this tutorial. I'm just going to keep going down on this side, but all these things mean this is the creative mode, and with this you can draw on the skin. This is the pose model mode. With this, I've never found this super helpful, but I guess if you wanted to take screenshots and stuff, you can always pose your model like this. And yeah. Oh, dab. And then part data, I guess you can definitely turn everything to your liking. And yeah, so I'm just gonna put it back to default and go back into creative mode. Down here, this is the toggle grid. If you press this, lines should appear on your character. Oh yeah, okay, there. I press this and now there are lines on my character for a grid so you can see easier where each pixel is. Sometimes I find this helpful when like counting out things and it needs to be geometric, but I usually like making my skins very organic, so I don't use this that often. Down here, this is the zoom tool. You can always zoom in and out and stuff, and just really get to a place where everything helps you. Zoom tool works best when you toggle the different parts. So, if you just want to focus on your head, I find it best to toggle everything but your head and then zoom into the head, and then it's easier. Like this, where we're clicking on everything to toggle everything, there's this little check mark up here. This will hide all the body parts. This puts it back on if you re-click it. And this is the helmet and the overlay. This is just the overlay layer. Right now nothing is selected, but we can select things like this and turn on all the overlay. It is turned off by default, which I think is really helpful for people who are beginning, because I think often people accidentally make their entire skin on the overlay. So I'm just going to turn off the overlay for now. Alright, so that's pretty much it for this side. This little box is very helpful. It will tell you which side is facing which. So front is the face, obviously, and then there's like the top and the right, the back, the bottom. Yeah, you get it. It's like, it just shows you where it's facing, which can be very helpful. And this button down here, if you press it, it takes a screenshot of your character. Alright, now I'm going to go over this side. Alright, these are the undo and redo buttons. So let's say I'm drawing a face on my character and it's looking really good, but then, oh no, I messed up. You can click this button to undo it. But then if you think, oh wait, no, I actually really liked that or something, you can click this button to redo it. I'm just gonna undo what I had really quick. That's pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory. It's like the back and forward buttons on your browser. Okay, down here, or over here, this is the colors. I usually don't use RGB. I use HSL, that's hue, saturation, and lightness. I just find this is easier for me. If you're an RGB person, that's awesome. If you're an HSV, hue, saturation, value person, that's awesome too, but I like using hue saturation value because it's just generally how I do my skins. That's just my personal preference. To pick a color, it's really easy. You can go around this little circle like this, say, I want a nice yellow color, so I'm going to go drag it over to the yellow area and then drag this to the lighter or darker, depending on what color I want. And you can see all the levels automatically change on how you are doing it. So I find it helpful, like, I'll choose like a nice salmon-y color right now. And I would choose my lightest color, and then I could darken the color a couple times. And I could make a lot of shading with that. So I find that's very helpful. And if you just want, if you want to save colors, there is this palette down here. I usually don't use these pre-made colors because they are pretty bright and obnoxious. So you can go over here and you can do create new palette. And you can add the colors you've made to the palette with this little add new color to palette button. Or if you're like, oh no, I didn't want to add that one, you can remove that color and then it'll say yes. And you could zoom in on the palette to make it bigger or zoom out to make it smaller. Everything like that. There's lots of tools to customize it. This tool down here, you can also pick a color on the skin. We only have white on the skin so far, so we could only pick the white color. But yeah, I'm just gonna turn it back to red. And then you'll see it'll be stuck on the color picker over here. So you're just going to want to bring it back to smooth mode when you do that. Something I find that's always helpful is the mirror tool. Now, this is very helpful. The first one's really helpful. The other ones are not so much that helpful. It makes it kind of strange when you're working with it. I don't know. This has never seemed too helpful to me. Like any of these other ones, not that helpful, but the surface across limbs one is the most helpful ever. So you want to do both sleeves of your character, but you don't want to have to do it over twice. It saves you so much time, and it is so nice. The brush stroke, I never really have used these. They're not very helpful. There's a couple like extra settings that, you know, I wouldn't really use. I mean, I guess they're just fun if you want to mess around, but they're not very helpful when creating your skin. So we have our mirror. We made sure it's turned on and everything so that it's easier. You can turn it on and off at will, whatever you want. So we are set on the basic brush settings now, the single pixel brush and smooth mode. You can, of course, change to square brush, and you can change the different widths and heights to make it huge if you want to cover everything. If you want to actually cover like an entire thing, like you could do that. Or you could just have it so it's easier with shading and stuff. And it's the same thing with the circle brush. They have a little circle brush. I usually don't use these brushes, I just use a pixel brush, but it all depends on your style and your way of doing things. They also have the triangle brush, which again, they're just shapes that you paint in and stuff. And yeah. And then they have a very helpful tool, the magic wand brush. And now this brush is so helpful. Oh my goodness. So it'll fill in an entire unconnected area. And to show you how this works, I'm just going to go back to the pixel brush right now, and I'm going to draw a square on the face, or I messed up, but who cares? And then I'm going to take this red and the magic wand brush, and I can fill in this square like that. You can fill in outlined places or the whole area and everything like that. And I think that it's super helpful, and I really like it. So I'm just gonna undo what I've done there and come back to smooth mode. Okay, come back to everything like that. All right, so then we have noise mode. So when you click this, it kind of makes your own shading for you. And we're gonna use this tool in our beginning things, because it is really easy. You just have to color it and it makes it its own for you. But once you're more advanced, this tool probably isn't the best. You want to make your own shading style and everything instead of having it be random pixels. So noise mode is very helpful. HSL shift mode, you can set it, hue, saturation, lightness, shift mode. You can set it to automatically if I want to make it go darker or something. I'm not 100% sure what's going on here. I don't really know how to use that one that much. But yeah. That one's confusing. I've never used it before. Clone mode, I've also not used clone mode before. It's generally, I don't think, super helpful. Eraser mode, though, is extremely helpful if you want to erase something on your skin or whatever. It just turns it back to the base color, which is white. And then color picker tool, I already went over that, and heck yeah, it's really nice. So we're gonna go back to smooth mode, our basic mode, and yeah. So now comes the fun part, oh my goodness, where we actually dive into making our very first skin. So we're gonna go really slow. Make sure to pause the video to finish what you're doing. Make sure to pause the video if I go a little too fast for you, to just finish the step that we're on. And make sure that you are putting a lot of thought into this. We're not going to do too much shading or anything super complicated. We're just going to use single colors, and it's going to be a very, very nice, easy step into making skins. So first, what we want to do is we want to think about what we want our skin to wear. For easiness sake, I'm going to do what I'm wearing right now, and you should do the same with what you are currently wearing. I always think that's easy because then you can just look down at what you're wearing for reference. You want to imagine what hair color, eye color, skin color, and everything you want on your skin. Once you have a mental image of everything you want on your skin, we are going to start by doing the hair. So I'm going to pick a color. I'm going to pick a red color that's already here on the default because my hair is red, and I'm going to bring down the saturation a little, bring up the lightness a little, and that is pretty much my hair color right now because it is dyed. I'm going to turn off everything but the head and zoom in on the head a little bit. Now you want to make sure to pick your own hair color that you have and try to draw the shape of how it falls on your face. I'm going to do that with mine. There we go. We have one side of the head done so far. And now I'm actually just going to use the magic wand brush because the rest of the sides of the head are just going to be this flat red color. Then I'm going to switch back to the pixel brush to do the underside of the head as well. And there we go. So we have, for me, the hair shape on the head so far. I'm going to turn on the torso because we are going to be doing the head shape, or not the head shape, the hair shape on the torso right now. I'm going to make my hair how it looks on my body just by making a cool little shape on here of how my hair looks. And there we go. I'm actually not too happy with this shape, so I'm going to change it up a little bit with the eraser tool. And there we go. So we have that so far. And I'm going to do the same on the back. If you have short hair, you can just skip this step because it's much easier to only do it on the head if you have short hair. So I'm going to fill in all of this right here with my red color. Now I'm going to deselect the head and make sure that this little blank area up here connects to the front and back like that, because that's kind of where our shoulders are and my hair does fall over my shoulders. Now we're pretty much done with the hair. Make sure to go back and pause the video if you are still on a step and need a little bit more time. Now we're going to go to the clothes we are wearing. Right now I am wearing a gray tank top, so I'm just going to pick a gray color from over here in the default palette, and I'm going to start drawing it on my body. Thinking how far I want it to go down. I usually find it best when you don't bring your shirt all the way down on to the bottom of your torso. I usually just make it go about 3/4 of the way down. So I'm still filling in the empty area. I'm leaving a little bit of space over here, but I am going to make it look like I have some tank top straps by outlining the square like this and leaving a little tiny space like that. And I'm going to keep going like that, and there, we pretty much have our tank top, our base color of our tank top done. My tank top has a couple little like fancy things on it. It has like a little lace part right there, and it has like a little decorative button down part right here. So I'm just going to go like that, and yeah, that's pretty much very spot on for what my tank top looks like. And now I'm going to go to pants. I am wearing black shorts, so I'm going to pick a color that's not quite black, and I am going to go onto the noise mode and fill in all the area that I want my shorts to be on. Is mirror not on right now? Oh yes, I forgot to turn on mirror. So, filling in the area that I want my shorts to be on. It is not completely straight at the bottom. I like giving my stuff a little bit more style and roundness. And there we go. I'm going to fill in the blank areas where it's connected by deselecting one of the legs and filling in the white areas on the other leg. And I'm going to do the same with the bottom of the body right here. Alright, I am not wearing shoes right now, but I am wearing some socks. So I'm going to pick a lighter gray color right here. Not quite white, but it is gray. And I'm going to draw up some nice little socks like this. And I'm going to do what I did by turning off the one leg and having it go onto the other. And there we go, we have our socks. And now we're going to go to the skin part of our skin. To choose, my skin's pretty pale, so I usually, for skin colors, will go into an orange shade and then drag it a little more towards red and lighten it like this to make a skin color, or darken it like this to make a skin color. Or anywhere around here, orange is a great place to start for making your skin color. So my skin is very pale, so I'm going to just bring it up here to there. Oh, I'm gonna make sure I'm not on noise mode. I want to be on smooth mode for this. And I am going to go back to only having the head selected. I'm going to fill in all the blank area with my skin color. And I messed up a little bit, so I'm just going to use the color picker tool over here and just fix that like that. And now I'm going to give myself some nice ears over here. You don't have to do this if your ears don't show, but my ears generally do show. So yeah, those are my ears. And now I'm going to pick, well, I'm not going to pick, I'm just going to bring my color down into red a little more and then move it closer to that for a nice lip color like that. And I'm going to pick white and draw out where my eyes are going to be. Now I'm going to choose black and make sure that I give my skin some cute eyelashes. My eyes are hazel green, so I'm going to pick this color over here that's like dark yellow. That's usually a good color for hazel, and color in my eyes with that. Now that I have my head done, I'm just looking at the rest of my skin right now, making sure everything fits together cohesively. I'm going to turn off everything except for the head and the torso, and I'm going to pick the skin color from the head and then turn the head off and fill in the blank spots on the torso with the skin color, leaving room for the neck and over where I left some gaps for the arms. And now I'm going to fill in the arms. Sorry, just forgot the word for arms for a second. And since my arms are completely blank, I am just going to be using the magic wand tool and clicking every side so that they are all the same color. Alright, and mirror is still on, but in a second we are going to be doing something while taking the mirror off. So I'm going to do the same. We're filling in the white spots on my leg like that. And there we go. And now we are ready to turn off the mirror so that I can add on my left arm, which is on the right side, because we are looking at it like we are looking at a different person. I'm going to add some things that I'm wearing. I have a watch on my left arm, so I'm going to add a black band for my watch like this, and then I'm going to take a light color and put it in the middle, and then put like a little bit like that over it. I am also wearing a wristband that I got from my friend at Mindfair, so I'm going to add that on this skin too. It's all rainbowy and cute, so I'm just going to be picking a bunch of rainbow colors right now to put on my skin and bring it all around together. Like this. We are almost done. And there we go. Now we are done with the base layer of our skin, and we are going to turn on the overlay, but I only want to mess with the head overlay right now. So I'm turning off the overlay everywhere else. I'm going to turn off every body part except for the head. I'm going to choose the same color we used for our hair and be using that. So now when I draw, everything will be slightly off. I'm going to turn on the grid so it helps a little bit here. When drawing our face shape, I'm starting by using some bangs down at the bottom. I have girly hair that hangs kind of over my forehead and everything like that. If you don't have hair like this, don't worry, just try to make it exactly how your bangs are. And I like to make it move over on the other side. You don't have to do this, that's just my personal style preference. Alright, I am done with my hair like that. I'm going to pick a black color and add in some earrings that I'm wearing on my skin like that. And now I'm going to pick the gray color I used for my shirt, and my shirt has a couple buttons on it. So I'm going to turn on the overlay for the shirt and add myself some buttons. I'm turning on the rest of my person and looking at everything all together, and I think that it all looks pretty good for a very simple introductory skin. So that is basically it. If you have any other things you want to do with the overlay, you can just turn on the different parts and use them like that. You can turn on and off the grid to see what it looks like with or without the grid. And yeah, so I hope this video was helpful to you guys. There are so many more videos based on style and everything on my channel. If you're coming here for Mindfair and weren't able to make it to our live skin workshop, I hope this video helped you and helped recreate the experience that was there. So I will see you guys all in the next video. Bye! It was so awesome being at Mindfair and being able to see everyone's amazing creations. So if this tutorial helps you at all, you can always comment saying that it helped you, telling me what you made. That'll be super awesome. Or you can tweet me at Twitter with a picture of what you made, and I will tell you how proud I am of you for pursuing skins and everything. Yeah.